Velma Barfield was convicted and sentenced to die in 1978 for the poisoning death of her boyfriend. She also admitted poisoning 3 other people, including her mother. Barfield had been awaiting her sentence in the Women's Correctional Facility in Raleigh. But last week, for security reasons, say corrections officials, she was moved to Raleigh's Central Prison, where she is the only woman prisoner. She now waits in virtual isolation in a cell just across from the execution chamber, a constant reminder, she says, of her likely fate.
It's total, isolation from everybody that I had been with for almost 6 years. The first week I was here was the worst week that I have spent. Everything
Barfield
about
says
it.
drugs led her to prison. She became addicted to tranquilizers, she says, during a rocky period in her life.
The last 10 years was just like that, years of a drug nightmare. Days of not knowing where you are or what you've done.
Her attorney would not allow her to say whether she knew what she was doing when she committed her crimes. But once confined in prison, Barfield says, she found God. It's her relationship with God, she says, that has enabled her to survive her confinement.
Living in prison every day is a struggle, even at its best. And I know that without him and his strength that has sustained me, I couldn't have made it even thus far.
Now, drug-free, a repentant Barfield says she regrets the pain she has caused others.
I'm sorry for the hurt that I've caused so many people. Today, if it were possible, I wish that I could take every bit of hurt on myself.
Murder committed there in Geauga County, and I'm responsible for it, and I am wanting the death penalty. But it seems that everything that I tell them, I mean, it's substantiated. They know it's the truth and stuff like this here, but they don't want to, for whatever reason, follow it up or. It's just, that's why I decided that I would talk to you to try and get my point across. The kid that was killed, he was, I told him that his ride will be coming and that there were some cigarettes in the bottom of the duffel bag. I said, you go ahead and get them out so you'll have access to them. And so the duffel bag is, for example, down here where my feet. And Danny is squatted down and he's taking his hand, he's going through the bottom of the duffel bag trying to find the cigarettes. And I'm standing right here. And I have the sawed-off shotgun, and I ease it out of the bag while Danny's down there looking. And I put the shotgun kind of right here over his shoulder, right down here, easy, and I pulled the trigger. And it was a single shot. And so I put another shell in it and pulled it, the trigger, and he fell on over. And so I then backtracked. I left him there, left the duffel bag there. And it was well covered. I mean, nobody could see it way back in there. And I backtracked, and we went back to the car and changed clothes, and I went on home. And as if nothing had happened. Because my wife, as I said, didn't even know that Danny was in town. So, well, he didn't know it was coming. He had he did not know that he was going to get shot. I didn't threaten him in any way. I felt bad, but apparently not bad enough that I kept from doing it. He was stealing from my children, and I'm very close to my family in that respect. And so I just let my mind, I'm not new to crime. I've been in crime all my life. Written that book there, and so I've been a criminal all my life, and so and I had made up my mind, I guess, a long time ago that I wasn't going to go back in a penitentiary for just, anything. But no, I did not feel good about it, and I don't feel good about it now. Otherwise, why I would be asking for the death penalty? And what I can't understand, I deserve it, and I want the death penalty.
You don't want to be in prison for a long time on everything else that's going on.
Right. I'm not a healthy man. I'm not a healthy man. I have a pacemaker. I have a defibrillator. I'm a diabetic. I have neuropathy. I can't walk. My back and neck's been broken. My neck is fused. And I'm just turned 77, and I deserved it. I mean, his family, what family he has, stepbrothers and stuff like this here. I don't think he has a mom and dad. They're entitled to the. Also, you got to remember something else too. I'm thinking also of my family. I have put my family through God knows what. They don't deserve it. They're good people. They've been kept in the dark. Like, for example, my wife and things like, they've been kept in the dark about all of this. And so, not only does Danny's family, what he has, get closure, my family gets closure if their closure can be brought about. Because I have a different view on what closure really is. You keep hearing people say, well, now you got closure. Okay, is closure knowing the person who did it got caught and he's being sent to the penitentiary? Is that closure? Or is closure, if it were one of mine, closure, I would want to know, what did my child say anything prior to dying? Did he ask for me? Did she or he ask for me? Was he pleading? In other words, I would want to know what was going on at the very end. That would be the closure that's what I describe as closure in that respect, coming from a parent. Not just knowing that, okay, I committed the crime, so I'm guilty, and that to me, it's just,
you want to provide that now.
Well, there was nothing. Danny didn't know he was going to get shot, so he did not plead. He didn't know he was going to get shot. But yes, I want to provide the closure to my family in that I've done it, and I deserve the death penalty. As a matter of fact, I have a daughter, but I did this. What is so? Okay, I'm sure that there's matter of fact, it's happened many times over and over again, and it's going to continue to happen, where people will come up and tell you they killed somebody or they're committing to a crime and stuff like this here. This is a little bit different. They know that I did this. They've got the gun. They've got the shells. Danny lived at the house. I had the reason for it. I've told them what the reasoning was. So, but they keep saying, we need the head. And that's why I got ticked off and decided I was going to call you, and which I did.
So I got to ask you, how are you feeling this morning?
A little numb. I mean, I don't know how you would expect someone to feel. I mean, if they told you tomorrow you're dying, how would you feel? It's not something, we all die, but it's knowing your exact date and time, that's hard to deal with. But I'm at peace with myself. I mean, as far as it's my release, my punishment's over. I've been here 28 years now. I'm tired. So.
You've been here 28 years.
I've been locked up 28 years since December 9th, 1987. So I'm a little tired. And in confinement.
And explain what that's like.
Imagine spending 28 years in this room. There's no way to describe it. It's exceptionally difficult. I've had a lot of support, a lot of people who love me and cared about me, a lot of support outside. That's made it a little easier, but still it's very difficult to spend 28 years in a room like this.
A lot of thinking?
You have to be able to look in the mirror and like yourself.
Do you like yourself?
Yeah. I'm comfortable with myself. There's a lot of things in my past, I wish I could change, but I'm at peace with myself. The state's about to kill me, and they think they're getting justice, and I'm like, well, they're not getting justice. They're just gonna kill somebody else. I was like, and I'm like, they killed me 28 years ago, and they locked me up. Now they're just releasing me.
So you're saying you didn't murder these women?
No.
You didn't murder Natalie Hawley? Stephanie Collins?
No.
Terry Lynn Matthews?
No. I didn't know them. I'd never seen them. Never met them. I met them through photographs, through crime scene photos, through newspaper articles. I've gotten to know them fairly well through newspaper articles and crime scene photos, police reports.
So 10 juries convicted you, though?
Yes. 10 juries heard the same evidence repeatedly over and over and over. Nothing changed.
Evidence linking you to the murders?
Yes, people's testimony and the physical evidence. What physical evidence actually linked me?
There's hair and fibers, right?
Hair and fibers that Mike Malone prepared. Not from me.
So I've been hearing you talk for the last 20 minutes, and you're going over the case, you're going over the evidence, and talking about it being flawed and tainted and planted. So is Florida basically killing an innocent man?
Yes. For the murder of Stephanie Collins, Natalie Hawley, and Terry Lynn Matthews, they're about to execute me for Terry Lynn Matthews' murder. They execute someone who absolutely did not commit that murder.
So you're innocent?
There was another man confessed to it.
So you're innocent?
Absolutely innocent of the murder. I had nothing to do with it.
Are you going to have anything final to say right before the injection?
No, it's my release. They're not going to get no justice out of that. They won't. If anything, they'll leave angry. They'll say, well, that was too easy. There was nothing there. Is it going to change anything for them? When they wake up the day after, is anything going to be different? Now I'm not going to be there. Where's their focus of their anger now? They're still going to be without their child. They're still going to be numb. You know, maybe it won't happen today. Maybe it'll happen a week or 6 weeks, or maybe something will happen a year down the road or whatever, that they'll say, well, wow, maybe something will change. They'll say, well, maybe I want to look at the evidence. It might be too late for me, but they owe it to their child. I would if it was my child. They owe their child that much.
Are you going to be looking at them right before you're executed?
Well, if they're in the window, I probably will.
Eye to eye? You're going to look at all of them?
Well, I don't know. Depends if I can see them or not.
But you plan to?
Well, if I can see them, yes.
And will you say anything?
I don't know if I'll say anything, because I don't know if it would do any good. You know? What would you say to them? I encourage you to examine the evidence. Hire an independent, someone that you trust, someone you feel comfortable with, and go through it.
Is that what you're going to say?
That's what I would say. That's all I can say. I didn't do it. You're not going to believe me, fine. Then there's no point in me saying that. Don't take my word for it. Don't take the police. Do an independent analysis. Let them do it.
Did they tell you what time the execution takes place?
Well, I think it's scheduled for 6 p.m. Well, it's like, after 28 years of this, it's been in this box for 28 years. It's a release. My punishment's over. They can't hurt me no more.
Right. So what do you do in your cell all those years, sitting in there?
Read.
Read what?
Books.
About what?
I read everything. I read all the works of art of the philosophers, Nietzsche. I've read them all. History. I mean, you're limited to what you can do. Mm-hmm. Reading's pretty much the only thing. Writing. I had TV. I watched TV. Stayed up on the world events and politics and stuff. But
what do you watch? Anything in politics that's interesting to you?
Mostly watch the PBS shows, the offbeat news programs, because they're more in depth, more coverage. Mm-hmm. A lot of the masterpiece mysteries and stuff like that. I didn't watch a lot of the mainstream TV. Do artwork, draw.
What do you draw?
I did different types of drawings for Rosalie, for the kids. I didn't draw for nobody else, than for her. Mm-hmm. Hopefully someday the truth will come out. It might be too late for me. It's too late for me 28 years ago. I came to prison 28 years ago. So, had I not been in prison for the Ohio case, maybe none of this would have happened. Maybe my credibility would have been different. I don't know. In hindsight, you can sit back and say, well, there's a lot of what ifs or I should have. But you can't change that. We get one go around. Mm-hmm. And I have to accept the hand that was dealt me. Some of us don't get the opportunity. Dying down there is not as bad as dying in a car wreck or upside down in a ditch or in a house fire or like the victims died or, there's many worse ways to go. At least I had the opportunity to say goodbye to my people. I had a chance to prepare myself. I have, so.
Which one of the interviews did you find the most disturbing and why? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you think this video is interesting, leave a like and you can also subscribe to my channel for more similar content like this.